Working on a 1997 Toyota Supra 15th anniversary special edition, and I thought this would be great for a vlog, not only because of the rare vehicle that we're working on, but also because it has a ceramic coating that we're going to remove on it. So there's scratches and there are some swirls and love marks on the top of the ceramic coating, and the ceramic coating was actually laid down on the vehicle without any paint correction at all. Now, I'm not here to bash the previous detailer. That's not what this is about. Everybody makes mistakes. We're human, just so it doesn't happen again. But I am going to show you how to remove that coating and then be able to correct the damage and the imperfections underneath, and then relay a fresh coating and send it on its way. So what you're seeing here is about a 50-50 imperfections and swirling above the coating and also underneath. So this is what we're going to go after. So this is turbo and also Targa, and has all the bells and whistles. It has been repainted, and that's very important to know. And that's another reason why I urge you guys to pick up a paint depth meter. I'm going to show you that as we go along with the video, how that comes into play. But the first thing we want to do is start to remove the old coating. So I just grabbed Meg's 83. I know that works to remove older coatings. This happens to be, it's also important to know what type of coating was laid down. This is a 5-year coating, Ceramic Pro. So we're going to use the microfiber pad, the 50-50 Eurofiber. We're going to use the Meg's 83. I'm going to remove just a small section on the hood here and show you what to look for on black colors, on some colors, and if the coating's fresh, you'll be able to see it easily with no visual aids whatsoever. There's going to be a definite demarcation mark where the coating ends and where there's no protection at all. But what I'm going to have to do here is remove it, use an IP solution, and then mist a little bit of water on there, and you'll pick up that distinct line very easily. All right, we wipe off the residue. I'm going to use an IP solution to wipe off any leftover residue that I couldn't pick up with the towel. Now I'll spray it back on there, and you're going to see right here exactly where the protection is now removed and where it remains. I've often been asked by you guys what it takes to remove a ceramic coating. Well, this kind of shows you exactly what it takes, what type of a pad, what type of polish. It's really no big deal at all. Okay, so I went ahead, removed the coating from the hood. Let's come in and see if we can remove some of the deeper imperfections that are actually in the clear coat itself that should have been polished, removed, one way or another, with wet sanding. We're going to see what we can do here with this exact same combo, the 50-50 pad and the Meg's 83. Just go back over the area, make 2 passes, and see what type of improvement. Now, it's been repainted. Again, besides the paint depth meter, we're also guessing at how hard the clear coat is. Not sure where it was done. Was it Eastwood clear coat? Was it 2K? It's anybody's guess. So we're gonna work, do this little test spot area like I do on every car in an inconspicuous spot, but we're gonna do this on the hood so I can show you, and we'll find out how hard or soft the clear is. With the residue removed, I can bring you in closer, and the clear coat is in between moderate and soft. It's not soft enough where this type of pad will just leave it hazy. However, it didn't take very much, just a crisscross pattern, to remove what I was going after, so it's right in the middle. It's mediocre. So we're good to go with this combination to start. However, we will be switching combinations, as I will show you a few different polishes and pad combinations that will work on this type of clear coat. So we do need to clean pads in between every pass. And since many of you have been asking about the cabinet here, I'll just quickly go over. I have a vacuum that's hooked up to the bottom of it. Turn it on. And those that don't have access to forced air, this is all you need to do. Get a dedicated detailing brush or a pad brush. They do sell them on Amazon. And a pad cleaner. They sell those on Amazon as well. Just agitate with a brush, get a microfiber, mop up. Massage the pad itself. It'll pick up a lot of that dirt, and you can get back to work. But if you have the means and you can grab a blast cabinet, look at what your lungs, they'll thank you. They don't have to breathe this stuff in. You can stay healthy. It just goes in the filtered vacuum cleaner. Blow it off just like this, and you're good to go. Okay, our correction liquid and pad combos picked out with the polisher, and we've done a test spot. We know what works. Let's get everything else protected now before we start with the correction. All the trim, the decals here, any rubber trim, seals, anything that we can bump up against with the backing plate and damage, we're going to protect. I do this with just about every car, and you especially want to do it with a rare collector's edition like this. We have the emblem, the parking lights, the headlights and tail lights. Okay, let's get around this car, protect everything we need to. We're going to use the 3M Precision Masking Tape. Another good alternative is the 3M Scotch Delicate Surface Tape. That's like a lavender purple color, but the adhesive is perfect. The low profile tape itself, you can skim a pad over top of it. It will not lift up the tape itself to get adhesive on your pad, which is a complete mess with some of these tapes out there. So we're going to also cover the wheels. They're clean. I don't want anything to get down on them, as I don't want to create more work than we have to, guys. This is going to be a multi-step correction here. We have everything protected. We are ready to roll. It's something to keep in mind. We're not taping up to paint the car. It doesn't have to be perfect. We just don't want the pad or backing plate to bump up against some of these things. So we can remove that tape and get closer with more precision polishing pads and backing plates later. So let me show you. We're coming up to 12, 13, 11, 10 mils, depending on where we measure. So how important is that? Well, if we go over to any other car, we're going to see 5 mils, 5.1, 5.9. You know, if we go to a lot of Asian cars, it's going to be 3.2 to 3.8, a lot thinner, a lot less material. So a car's been repainted. We have plenty of clear coat. So we're going to shoot for the stars and go for perfection here. So let's start at the top, work our way down to the bottom of the car, and you can see what we have up here, the same thing that was on the hood. This is on top of the coating. We have to remove that, then get down below that and start removing imperfections there. So let's get started. The rotary polisher would be ideal to buzz through this quickly. I want to show you it can be done with a dual action polisher. 15 millimeter throw, 21 millimeter throw. It can be done rather quickly. Keeping in mind we're removing the coating here first, I'm going to set the speed of the polisher on the 4th speed setting, between 4 and 4.5. I'm going to have a little bit more pressure than previously shown in other videos, and we're going to keep the correction speed at 1 inch every second or two. Okay, with the residue removed, we're down through the coating, and we also corrected some of the damage or the imperfections underneath. There are quite a few that are still there. I'll try to get these in focus so you can see what I'll need to go after just a little bit later after I hit the other side of the target here. And I'll take care of that. That there is too deep. I'll have to fill that in with clear. It's just about down into the base coat. But I'm going to go after what's left here with a little bit of 3000 grit wet sanding. This will be broken down into a short series so I can show you different tools and polishers and combinations used, but that'll do it for this video. Catch you guys in the next one.